Oh, okay, okay. No, I understand. It's too much. It's okay.
I'm going to learn how to play the drums, I think. Guitar's too hard. Plus, you get blisters on your fingers.
An air guitarist.
You can do air guitar.
Patriot Cigar Company. Orange Man. 15%
Welcome, everybody, to the Orange Men Podcast. Dave and Clint here with you, episode 2 on a Friday night. Spinning the truth, saying the truth. Whether you like it or not. Oh, as we see it, as we say it. Wait a minute. Let me start over.
Just let it go.
Dave and Clint here with you on the Orange Men Podcast. Spinning the truth, saying the truth. What did I say after that?
Oh my God, dude. Forget it. Spinning the truth as we see it, whether you like it or not.
As we see it, as we say it, whether you like it or not. Thanks for joining us for our... Thank you for joining us on our
Relentless truth.
relentless pursuit of the truth.
Happiness.
Ba ba ba.
Follow, like, and share. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. Let everybody know you're Orange Man watcher. Excuse me. Wasn't that funny, man? Ah, man. So, got a little heated in that first one, but I like it.
Did you?
Didn't we?
I don't know.
When you brush it, disinformation.
I just get angry. I'm not really angry.
No reason to be
It's nice
angry.
to blow off some steam, though, every once in a while. It's all right. All right. Who's this broad? More view. We got more view. More view for you.
I don't know what her name is.
It's Shmeg Malamalakamo.
I think she's like the conservative wannabe.
No. This woman's not even close.
She's Latina.
Okay. Let's give her a roll in the hay.
To get here. And Republicans talk every day against communism and against socialism. And yet they have no conscience and no qualms about using victims of communism and socialism as political pawns and a political stunt to get them the base out. That is inhumane.
Hold on.
What's the matter?
The whole border is a political stunt.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, even when Trump was there, remember AOC with the kids in cages and stuff like that, and she's at the fence, and it's an empty parking lot, but it was a good photo opportunity.
Right. Well,
It's been that way.
having an unsecured border is a political stunt.
I posted videos on our Instagram, and you can
Listen, I agree with her.
You can just walk around the wall.
It's one thing if people are really leaving, trying to get here to escape communism and socialism.
Yes. That's not the case in most cases.
No, it's not.
She's
But if
talking
let's
about.
just say it is.
Okay.
Then why are you pushing for communism and socialism?
In this country, very
Right.
good. Yes.
So why would they come here, escaping communism and socialism, to vote for people like you who are pushing for communism and socialism?
Right.
That's why they're voting for the Republican Party.
Well, you didn't get to that part yet. You blew it. You blew it.
You blew it. That's De Niro.
Yeah, I know. We don't like him either.
What movie was that? You blew it.
I don't know.
Was it Goodfellas?
I forget.
I don't think so.
Focus.
Focus?
Maybe it was the Focus. Anyway, you and she's listen.
Listen.
Not everybody's coming from a communist or a socialist country.
No, we don't know who's crossing that fucking border. And I'm all for letting people who are trying to escape communism and socialism to come to this country and experience the freedom that we all love.
The proper way. Not just
Right.
massive
Come
hundreds
through legally, because
hundreds of thousands of people.
when you come through illegally, what that does to the people who came here illegally is turn them off to your ways of doing things.
Well, what's also going on is I saw somebody with the Title 42 or something like that, whatever it is. It's like they're jumping the line to become citizen or whatever it is ahead of the people that have been here doing it the right way.
Right.
Because
Right.
we need those
It's
votes.
not the way to do it. It's not the way
we
to
need
do
those votes. So the Democrats are like, yeah, get them over here. But go ahead.
Well, they don't need the votes.
I know they just
Not the way they run elections.
they just
Yeah, don't say it. Okay. Let's get back to my girl.
thief it.
It is unconscionable. It is heartless. It is cruel. And I'll tell you what it is not. It is not Christian.
Shut up.
So for all of those Republicans, including Ron DeSantis, telling me he is putting on his armor of God, how dare you bring up Christian values? How dare you go against communism and use these victims of communism for your political gain?
Well, that's what's so interesting to me, that there are so many Latinos
Latinos.
Thanks, Sonny.
Latinos and a Mexicana. Ha ha ha. Dummy.
that vote Republican because they vote against their own self-interest.
That's what you just said.
No, they don't vote against their own self-interest.
Cubans.
They vote against your self-interest.
Yeah, Cubans.
They know what freedom is. They know what real communism is.
And
They know what real socialism is.
Yeah, how come it's the Chinese know what communism and socialism is?
How come they're not coming across the border?
Well, they probably are.
You know why? Because if they try to leave China, they'll get fucking killed. That's
Wow.
why.
Venezuelans, you know what I mean? Like they're leaving communism and socialism.
Yeah,
But it's listen, are people in Honduras, is that a socialist state?
I don't know.
Country? Probably not. Ecuador,
I don't know.
Costa Rica,
I don't know.
Argentina.
I don't know. But hey, is the United States government doing anything about the hurricane in Puerto Rico?
Bolivia. No,
We doing anything to help them?
why would we do that? We don't even help the people. I mean, I know it's an annex of
The USA.
of the USA, but we're not even doing anything about the water in Mississippi, and it's like, just don't drink it. Here's $1 trillion, Zelensky. Don't drink the water.
We're going to punish Putin. I'm not getting back to that.
I know. I like where
Okay.
you pause this. She looks like, oh, I gotta pass gas.
Like this?
Whoopi farted. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, Whoopi. Is she appropriating a white girl's hair cut there? Just curious.
I don't know.
If you really are interested in these types of issues, then you're a Democrat. But that being said,
Yeah.
I liked her hair, though.
I like her hair too.
I think she's pretty.
Sunny. She brings sunshine to
But
my
I can
life.
never marry a woman like that.
Because she...
We wouldn't
A
get
liberal?
We wouldn't get along. A liberal?
A liberal?
She's definitely a liberal.
Yeah.
I have no problem with liberals.
I like
It's
how
the lefties I got a problem
I like how she... Well, she's... You know what the sad part is?
What?
And I mean, the Martha's Vineyard definitely showed it, is that she's probably just talking like that on her show, but behind closed doors, she's probably like a... Yeah, I can't believe these people are even here.
Let me just tell you.
What's up?
You made a good point earlier.
Did I?
Yeah, let's listen to Ron real quick.
All right.
I reject socialism outright. I reject Marxism, Leninism, communism, any of these isms that have come out of a political theory that basically denies the worth of each and every individual, denies people's aspirations to reach for the stars.
And that's what it is. Communism, socialism, they steal your right to be an individual. And that's what America is giving us.
Mm-hmm.
The right to be an individual. The right to succeed or fail on our own with no intervention from our government. That is the beauty of this country. Liberty. I can make my own decisions, successful or not. I have the freedom to fail.
Mm-hmm.
But what they don't tell you is failure is the highway to success. I was listening to something that Edison wrote. Edison was teaching this class, and he wrote on the board, 9 times 1 is 9. Then he wrote 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. And then when he got up to 9 times 10, he wrote equals 91. And the whole class started laughing at him. And he turned to them and he looked and he said, I did 9 problems correct. No one said a word. No one congratulated me. Nobody said, nice job. No one said nothing. But when I made my first mistake, you all laughed. And then he said, do you know what mistakes? People who don't make mistakes, you know who they are? They're the people who have never done anything.
Yeah, they're the cautious. They don't want to take a chance.
They don't do anything. This country has afforded us the opportunity to fail our way to success. But this socialist, communist attitude tells you that, oh, you don't have to fail. We'll take care of you. And what people don't realize, what they realized a long time ago, was failure was the road to success. We don't know that anymore. We're told that our failure is not our fault. It's someone else's. Let me do it for you.
Oh, it's also
So we all sit back.
yeah, like losing. Oh, you didn't
That's how-
lose. You played a hard game, but you know.
Yeah, here, take this trophy.
And you know, it's definitely we are definitely getting away from that. There's always winners and losers, no matter how you spin it.
A loser is nothing more than a future winner. Do you notice the people that DeSantis has standing behind him?
Well, he did a whole Chinese Communist Party thing.
These
Right.
people behind him are the people who know what communism is
Yeah.
and what it's all about. Those are the people you should be listening to.
Well, even like, not that I want to get back, but even like parts of Russia. I mean, they were under communist rule for a very long time, and there's people in this country, probably in their 50s, maybe 60s, that dealt with that and left Russia because of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's only been, you know, for what, since like the late 80s, early 80s, where people were really allowed to get out of the country and travel because it was okay. You didn't need you weren't like a hockey player or the Klitschko brothers where you were allowed to leave.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
So it's communism and socialism has been around for a very long time, and it's never worked. It doesn't work.
It's
And
failed 100% of
When
the
Sonny
time.
says something about, why are you leaving? You should vote. Well, there's a reason why a lot of people like DeSantis, because he doesn't want to rule your life. He's going to lead you. The laws are in place for what they are, but he's also, hey,
I want the freedom to fail.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to tell you to do this, or I'm not going to make you do that, or you want to come here and work from another state that wants to tell you that you have to put this in your body? Come here, please. We welcome the work. We have plenty of opportunities for you. What's wrong? What's wrong with that? But they're using, and it's kind of like what you were just saying.
What's wrong with it? It goes against the narrative. It goes against socialism. It goes against communism. It goes against everything these people are trying to implement.
Well, they're foreseeing the future, that they know that this guy's going to be a candidate, and we have to start trying to plant the seeds of doubt now, so that when he does get there, be like, see, we told you back in 2022 that this guy was a bad guy, and he's not right for the country, and this and this.
Right.
Like, if you're going to tell me, Would I rather have Gavin Newsom or Ron DeSantis as a president? I'm going to take DeSantis, not because of what he believes, but look at the state. The state that he's running is full of immigrants too. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but it's everything. Of course, it's what he believes.
Their budgets, no, I'm saying, but their budget is balanced. They have freedom. They're, fiscally responsible with their programs, not like California. California says that they have $100 billion in surplus, but yet they're $1.2 trillion in deficit. Now, we talked about that. What does that even mean?
Means he's full of shit. What it means.
Yeah, so he ran San Francisco into the ground, and then he's like, I'm out. Vote me the governor. They did. Now he's going to run California into the ground, which he already has. I'm out. Now what? What's his next step?
To run the country into the ground. But it's
Yeah.
already happening, so we don't really need him.
Yeah,
We
but
already
he's
got
gonna-
people
Yeah,
to
he's
do
gonna.
that.
Well, he's gonna bring it on a little further, if not worse. And no, I agree with you. It's exactly right. But if I have my choice of the two, I align with DeSantis more than I align with Newsom. And like, you can't tell me that what California is doing is great. You know what I mean? They had lockdowns forever. They still have places in California like, nah, you can't come in. You gotta. You know what I mean? You have the biggest school district in the nation that kids don't even want to go to school there anymore because whatever. They're down, I think it was 13% in their taxes because so many people left the state, like their taxing revenue.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a shithole. It's a shithole.
Yeah, and it was one of the most beautiful states in the country.
It still is. Still is.
But nobody wants to go there.
No. Why would you?
What was the point you were saying? That I brought up a good point earlier. I want to hear it. Oh, too bad.
Oh, about DeSantis. That he probably should have, instead of sending the immigrants to Martha's Vineyard, that was kind of a political move. I'm not denying that. But it's not a disgusting, deplorable, anti-Christian move.
Yeah.
What it is, hey, you people in your sanctuary cities who stand around and say, oh, we welcome everybody. Everybody's welcome. And then you don't want to share any of the burden of the open border.
Right.
And then when we share that burden with you, you go, oh, wait a minute, that's anti-Christian. You can't be sending people here.
Well, that was just 50 people, and they had them out of there with the National Guard's help. So
Right.
it goes to show you that, hey.
And then they stand up and start calling him a criminal.
Yeah.
A human trafficker.
Yeah.
It's like, really? I mean, the depths of
Well, that's what I'm saying.
insanity that these people go to has no boundary.
Because now they can go and be like, oh, remember in 2022 when he was human trafficking people across the country and state lines and stuff? Like, yeah, like Joe's been doing for the last year and a half.
Well,
since
what these people don't realize is that you get rid of Trump, there's going to be the next guy.
Yeah.
You get rid of the next guy, there's going to be the next guy. Somebody will always rise up. The problem I have, and the reason why I got out of politics before Trump showed up, was because it was corrupt. It was going to be corrupt. It was always going to be corrupt. It's never going to change. The only way it could ever possibly change is if outsiders get in, like you said earlier today when we were talking in the kitchen, having a couple of peanuts.
Well, they can't have the outsiders because then they
Right.
start shining the light
Because
on
the outsiders
all
come in and go, hey, wait a minute.
This doesn't make sense.
This can't be right.
There's a reason, yeah. Like,
And then once the outsider comes in and starts seeing shit, they start demonizing and vilifying the outsider, calling them every name in the book and trying to accuse them of crimes they didn't commit so that they don't get exposed themselves.
well, there's a reason why Madison Cawthorn got primaried out of his thing because he was an outsider. He was speaking out, the guy in a wheelchair. He was speaking out and he was pushing the limits. And, you know, they brought up, I don't know, some college pranks and shit that he was doing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. There's worse things in the world than what he was caught on video with his friends fucking around doing. I don't care about that. What I do care about, I can't even say because you're not allowed to say it.
I'm not allowed to say it, yeah.
But he was
That's
an
the other thing.
He was an outsider that was pushing the limits against the establishment Democrats and even the establishment Republicans, and they were like, "Hold on, kid, you're out."
Listen, we wouldn't say half the things that we're saying
No,
if there wasn't some evidence of it.
Oh yeah.
It's not like we're making this stuff up. I see legitimate evidence, and I'm just talking about it.
Yeah.
But you can't even do that. And the fact that, you know, a DA would campaign on going after Trump, doesn't that open people's eyes? Don't you see what's going on there? I can't believe there's so many people who are so full of hate for one person that they're willing to give up their freedom to be hateful. It just makes no sense to me. This country's going to shit,
Well, it's the same thing.
and you're okay with it because Trump's out.
It's the same thing they did with Mayor Adams. Like
Trump's been out of office for fucking 2 years.
it's what they did with Mayor Adams. Like you voted for because he was a black guy, I guess. I don't know. Is that why he got voted?
Well, he talked a good game. He talked anti-crime. He talked like he was going to take care of shit,
Turned it all around.
and he did nothing.
Doesn't care.
No,
He's not worried about it.
he's another fucking libtard. And now I wonder. I mean, he was a cop, right?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So I mean, he knows what it's like to be a cop in New York. So he knows what the police go through. He knows what's really going on.
Mhm.
But somebody got to him. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not getting fucking paid off.
Well, that's what I mean. To be honest, I mean,
Toe the line, and we'll take good care of you and
well,
your
that's
family.
I mean,
If you don't toe the line, we'll do what we're doing to Trump to you.
that's one of the things we have to be worried. I mean, across this country here, we have to be weary of that because you got people that might just be saying the right things, and we're like, all right, I like what this person's saying, but it might like. Actually, I was listening to Sergeant and the Samurai. This falls right into place.
Okay.
And they had Teddy Daniels on, who was running for lieutenant governor of PA. So what happens is, and I was kind of, I guess I'm a little ignorant to the fact of how it works out, but you know, whoever you vote for the governor for in the primaries, obviously. So the woman that won, I think whatever, De Rosso or whatever, she has like her boyfriend is a Democrat, like a big Democratic donor and a Democratic booster, and he funneled money into her campaign. So what happens is she ended up winning the primary, and now Mastriano is running with this girl, but nobody likes her because she's not on our side. But that's the way it goes. So like, it's
That's
not
a
even
separate election.
what. No, if
Governor
you vote
and
for the
thing.
governor, in the primary, but now it's Mastriano and De La Rosa for that's her that will be his lieutenant governor. It's not a separate in the general. It's not a separate thing. They're combined now. So you can't vote for somebody else. It's Mastriano.
It's not one ticket.
It's the same thing. It's what
No,
Teddy.
she's a Democrat.
No, she's a Republican.
Oh, she's a bad Republican.
Yes.
But she's running against the Democrat. But they're not on the same ticket.
No, Mastriano and her are running. They're running together because that's his. That's his. Yes.
No. It's not the same ticket. It's two separate elections.
The primary was. You're not.
I am.
What? You don't vote again for the lieutenant governor unless you want to vote for the Democrat. It's her or nobody else.
No, it's her and the Democrat.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can have a Republican governor and a Democrat lieutenant governor.
Are you going to vote for the lieutenant governor? Or be a
No, but I'm saying it's not the same ticket.
no,
It's
but
two separate tickets.
But there is no other choice. What I'm saying is, if you get primary, like you couldn't vote for Teddy Daniels because he's not going to be on the ticket on the ballot,
Right.
anymore. Because they
But
voted.
you have a choice between two lieutenant governors.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. Is that this person who was
I got you.
pushed in because she had some bullshit ass donors behind her is the wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, oh, I'm on your side. No, I'm not. And that's what's going on across this country. Like,
But
we
it
have
won't
to.
matter. She's a lieutenant governor. Unless unless the Democrat governor wins. Unless Shapiro wins.
Well, that's another issue. But that's what I'm saying. Going across the country here, we don't know who's actually on our side and who the Democrats are running against these people to win, even though they're Republicans. Because I'd have heard that where they're funneling money into the Republicans because they're trying to water down, even though they want a Republican to win, but they don't want that Republican to win. If a Republican wins, they want the one that they backed. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
because they're putting money into those people. Like we can't have this person win. We got to have this person. Like this is the Republican
Well,
we
she
can
won the
deal with.
primary.
No, I'm just across the states. Like people might be saying something like, "Oh, this person they're saying all the right things, but they're not the right person."
I'm not worried about a lieutenant governor. They're.
I was
useless.
using that as an
It's like
example.
a vice president.
I was using that as an example of the Democrats are pushing these people into places where they can still be effective.
No, they
So-
can't. She has no power.
Yeah, until they removed Doug, and then you got Hochul. She was lieutenant governor too in New
Yeah.
York. How's that working out? Because he stepped down.
Well,
Stupid Cuomo.
well, Mastriano is not going to step down.
No, I know, but they might be like, "Oh, he's a criminal for being at the January 6th insurrection."
Well,
and
yeah, they're going to do all that, but not if they lose the House and the Senate. It won't matter at that point
within PA.
because they're all because they're all going to jail. If we get the House and the Senate, they're all going to jail.
Okay.
If they don't, then we're in big trouble.
See you in the gulags.
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen, we could be in trouble either way. But
Well,
because some of these Republicans, I'm
Well, I mean,
who was that? Was that Lindsey Graham?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
No, standing up with what the hell was he talking about? I don't know. It was scary. He was with some Democrat.
Well, McCarthy's doing
up
the
there
same
with
thing. This whatever is.
Oh no, it was Mitch McConnell,
Yeah.
the guy with the turkey neck.
Yeah, that's McConnell. It looks like a turtle.
Yeah, he's fucking scary. I don't trust that guy.
Well,
as
his
far as I
wife's
can tell.
Chinese too, so
What's that got to do with anything?
because he's probably
She's
controlled.
from China.
No, I'm saying he's probably controlled by the Chinese.
Another one. Yeah, there's probably a lot of those guys.
No, but
We need Trump.
whatever McCarthy, the guy that was the Speaker of the House, he's another one.
Oh, real quick.
He's funneling money into like some of these Republicans that aren't America First Republicans, and that's what
Yeah.
we need to get away from.
Couple things real quick.
We need outsiders. What's up?
We need a lot of outsiders.
Yes.
My name is John
Slim Shady.
Fetterwoman.
Can't this guy get a button-up shirt?
No.
Like, dude, we get it.
He's not gonna. He's never gonna campaign. He's never gonna debate.
Oh, did you see the stipulations? He needs the closed captionings on so he can read what Oz is saying, and he can read the questions.
It's never gonna happen.
And then Oz asked, like, dude, if you're gonna do that, I need this to be at least a little bit. It can't be 30 minutes.
It's never gonna happen. There's not gonna be a debate.
And again, I'm not a fan of Oz, but I have to assume
It won't matter.
I have to assume that Oz made some backroom deals with Trump.
There's no way this guy's debating. No way. No way.
No,
No.
next week. I'll get some Fetterman clips where he's like, I think. Know what the sad part is?
I live 8 miles.
Here's what the sad part is.
What?
I mean, in the state we're in, it's a big. I already seen like the operating engineers, love them. The crane rental guy, crane guys.
Mm-hmm.
The union over there off of Fort Washington, the big union hall.
Yeah.
They got Shapiro and Fetterman fucking signs out there, and that's what happens. So you had listen. I don't know if the workers, the workers. Obviously, we know who the leadership's voting for. I don't know if the workers of these unions, and that's who they're gonna back. This guy. This guy can't even fucking speak a sentence.
Yeah.
And the unions are gonna back him. And we're
Imagine if some Republican chased a black guy down the street and put a shotgun in his chest.
People forget about that. Well, he's got his zip code on his arm, and then he's got the murders of tattoos on the other arm.
He's got tattoos of zip codes.
Did you know Dr. Oz will last 2 hours in Braddock?
Braddock.
Yeah.
Big tough guy.
Oz was in
It was 4,000 people in Braddock.
Oz was in Kensington.
I could manage
beginning of the
Braddock.
week. I know. He didn't live in the lieutenant governor's
I
mansion.
guarantee you, I
The
wouldn't be
lieutenant's
putting
governor
shotguns in
mansion.
people's chests.
The lieutenant governor's mansion
He
was
should've
probably a
went to jail for that.
shithole. It was probably a shithole. That's why he lived in. He stayed in his house.
He
compared to
should have
his-
never. He should be in jail for that, or at least prosecuted.
Listen, he's white privilege. He can do what he wants. That's I have to find that video because that is a story where he chased a black guy who was running.
It was jogging.
Out for a jog. I mean, I thought that was against the rules. I thought, yeah. He heard shots fired in his neighborhood.
Some fireworks. He can't tell the difference between a firework and a gunshot because he's so smart.
Well, he's an everyday man. He's got his sleeves pushed up and he wears Carhartts and he's got a bald head.
I just got to tell you, if you think Republicans are the problem or the MAGA crowd's the problem, we ain't.
Nah.
Because there's no MAGA people running down the street chasing black guys who are jogging and shoving shotguns in their chest. We're not doing that. Because when we see a black guy jogging, we see a black guy jogging. That's it. There's a huge difference. This fucking scumbag, and this guy's white, Democrat, apparently, who ran over and killed that kid in the alley with his car, is on the street today.
Yeah.
Out on bail.
Yeah,
it's an absolute disgusting disgrace.
It's pretty sick.
But if he would have ran over a black Democrat or a black person,
well,
he'd be in jail.
If he would have rode over a white Democrat.
Fact,
and he was a Republican dude wearing a MAGA hat.
Oh God, Trump would be arrested for that.
I mean,
Trump incited violence.
I mean, look at the news with the Jussie Smollett thing. I mean, that whole thing was a joke. It was it was a hoax, and yet everybody blew it up. And that's one. I don't like Oz for that because he's like, hey, Jussie Smollett's my friend. That never should have happened to him. And he's never come out and going, you know what? That was pretty fucked up what he did.
Yeah. I know. We'll stop talking bad about Oz because he's all we got.
Yeah,
I got you.
This country, it's exactly what you said though. We're like, it's off the rails and it's hard. I don't know how
It's almost hard to see how we're going to come back from this.
That's what I was just going to say. I didn't think whatever, like when Trump first left and everybody was talking, and he's like, you're going to it's going to happen soon. Like, I get it if it needs to take this long, but like I said, a couple weeks ago, couple months ago, like, there's people in dire straits right now, and it's people in hurting.
We're going to get to the point where this damage is going to be irreversible. I don't know
that. But yeah, I mean, it's even like with the recession, like in that 60 Minutes thing where he's like, well, it only went up an inch. Like, yeah, dude, but it's at 8.3. Like,
watch me.
Like, all right, maybe last month, and it's
watch me fuck up the country.
It's like McConaughey said in The Wolf of Wall Street. It's fugazi. It's in the ether. It's just air. Like, they can manipulate the numbers however they want because they need to make this guy look good. So, next month it's going to be 0. Like, you can't have all these rises, 3.2, 1.4. You know what I mean? Like, steadily rising and go, it's 0.0. Okay. All right. Remember every time the stock market dropped when Trump was president? It dropped 30,000 points. But it's still the highest it's ever been. Huh. Like, you make one drastic scene and then it's like, what are we doing? But they got to prop this guy up. He's got no, I mean, what's?
Student debt relief.
All right. If you missed a payment or two, guess what? You don't get your debt relief. Did they tell you that? Did you read that?
Did you hear they're trying to give the military food stamps?
Did you? Well, yeah, because they got pay cuts.
So you're going to give them food stamps? You're giving all these fucking scumbags in college fucking getting their balls cut off and talking all this nonsense. This liberal socialist bullshit.
Yeah.
You're giving them free college. You're giving them aid. You're giving them... And they made an agreement to pay that back. And you're giving them relief. And then our military and their families who put themselves in harm's way to protect us from the evil empire.
A lot of it's too.
You're gonna make them use food stamps.
A lot of it's too.
What the fuck are we doing?
The one lady was breaking it down. It's a lot of like special operations stuff, like the Air Force combat controllers, which are like the dudes that like when they're out on like with the SEALs. Or like the Rangers or stuff in these high speed missions, they're the guys that call in, because they got the laser targets and stuff like that. And then the pararescue guys from the Air Force, it's like
so when those guys are at war, they're going to be able to use their EBT cards to get some Slim Jims.
I guess at the PX, maybe they're going to take it.
Fuck, man, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Country's a joke. This government's a fucking joke. It's corrupt as hell.
Maybe this is it. Maybe this is what we were supposed to.
And I'm no.
Maybe this is what we're supposed
No.
to be looking at.
No.
Maybe
they
this
can
is-
put me in a gulag.
Maybe this is the big picture. This is the big picture.
Joke.
You got to see how terrible and shitty this government's been for probably 50, 60 plus years.
Maybe the curtains have been opened.
Yeah, and now that everybody's looking, and it's again, like we said before, like
Thanks to Donald J. Trump, by the way.
like we said before, like I know I heard James talking about it. Like this country's not as divided, and I've said it before.
No, it's
We've
not.
said it. It's not as divided as the news and the media would like you to believe because everybody's friendly. Maybe certain.
No, we're all getting along. We're all working together. We're all doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I say hi to everybody.
Do you?
know? Yeah,
Wow, you're a polite dude.
I'm just saying. Like I go to the store. Everybody's not angry, pissed off, running shopping carts and everybody, beating them over the head with loaves of bread.
No.
Yet, toilet papers,
Stealing EBT cards.
access cards, baby.
Whatever. All right. Spew out.
Well, welcome back.
Spew the plugs.
Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. We're going to go with the Patriot Cigar Company.
We should get some cigars and smoke them.
I'll probably end up throwing up. Orange Men at the checkout for a 15% off code. Nicaraguan hand-rolled.
It's Nicaraguan,
I don't know how to say it.
not Nicaraguan. Where you from?
America. First Warrior.
I'm going to go order some cigars so we can
Patriot Apparel.
we'll
shirts.
smoke a couple next week.
Shirts, hats, sweatshirts, hoodie season. Remember, Orange Men 10 at the checkout. Link in the bio. And of course, Redcon 1. It is bulking season now since you can hide underneath a hoodie.
Patriot cigars are the only cigar you're allowed to smoke in my house. Everything else you have to go outside.
Well, I don't smoke. T20 Sanders at the checkout for the tier operator code. There is a 35% off weekend in the discount code for Redcon 1 this week. What are you doing? Patriot Podcast Network on your Roku devices, TVs, sticks, and the Roku box.
And now you can check out the Orange Men podcast video on Spotify. We are everywhere.
Listen, there's about 15 great podcast friends of ours on the Patriot Podcast Network, so you can find us all in one spot.
Check them out.
Do it. Thanks, everybody.
So long, gay boys.